This is Video Taxes 359 for July 2011. Thank you for joining us today. Well, let's look at some government releases for your enjoyment, and we'll start off with the finance release. Okay, any Hong Kong clients, listen up, because tax treaty negotiations with the government of the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region of the People's Republic of China are commencing on June the 27th, 2011. Better go over to Hong Kong, check that out. Anyway, CRA release, first of all, the prescribed interest rates for the third quarter of 2011, same as the previous two quarters. 5% is the interest rate charged on overdue taxes, CPP, contributions, and EI premiums by that crazy company called the CRA. 3% is what they pay to non-corporate taxpayers for overpayments. 1% is what they pay to corporate taxpayers for overpayments, and most importantly, 1% is again the rate that we can use to calculate taxable benefits for employees and shareholder loans. So we can have those 1% loans going for another quarter. Great news. Anyway, Finance Newswire, June 2nd, 2011, Finance announced an entry into force of the tax information exchange agreements with Bermuda and Cayman Islands. So it's in place, it's ready to go. But they also announced negotiations with Antigua, Barbuda. I didn't even know where Barbuda was, but now I do because I looked it up as part of my research. Barbuda. B-A-R-B-U-D-A, Grenada, Montserrat, and Uruguay. CRA Newswire, May 25th, 2011. CRA issued 3 Newswire releases authorizing a business representative, responsibilities of the authorized representatives, and the client's responsibilities. So in the first release, CRA notes that to add or change the name of a representative, you must make the changes either online through the Authorize or Manage Representatives option on My Business account, or you could just advise CRA in writing. And CRA notes that this consent authorization stays in effect until you cancel it, until the client cancels it, or it reaches an expiry date that the client chose. The second release had to do with responsibilities of the authorized representatives. And the third release had to do with the responsibilities of your client to make sure that the changes you make, the things you do as the authorized representative are correct. By accessing my account, the client can view the transactions that the representative has made. And before signing the T1013, the CRA recommends that the client should read and understand what that form is and indicate the level of access that they want their accountant or representative to have. Otherwise, level 1, disclose information only, or level 2, which most accountants would go for because it's easier to deal with clients, to disclose and request changes to information. A second thing, on May the 24th, 2011, it's a very good thing. CRA have issued a sample form T3010-1 for all our charities so they can figure out how to fill out the T3010, and they also have sample financial statements so they can figure out how to complete their financial statements that have to be included with the T3010. And it also says that if you do not include your financial statements, that CRA with the T3010, CRA will consider that the return is incomplete and that the organization could have its charitable registration revoked. So there it is. It's also got examples or samples of the Form T1235, the Directors, Trustees, and like officers worksheets, and the Form T2036, the Qualified Donees, the donation worksheets. And there you go. Also on May 24th, 2011, CRA released Charities Connection number 6, and it includes information again on the Form T3010. It also talks again about the charity's financial statements. It talks about you needing in those financial statements at least the balance sheet, statement of assets and liabilities, at least an income statement, revenue and expenditures, and also the financial statements should show the different sources of revenue and the expenditures, source and app, I think is what it's called from 40 years ago when I took accounting. This may be, okay, you can Google that to find it. So you'll want to do that so you can get that information for your client. But on May 13th, 2011, T1013 authorizing or canceling a representative. So CRA notes that the e-file service providers, I guess that's us, can electronically submit the Form T1013 in batches from 1 to 30. There'd be about a 4-day delay to gain access to your clients, unless you go manually, in which case it's a 20-day delay during the peak times, or 5 business days during the non-peak times, mid-July to mid-March. And then we have some important reminders there that you can take a look at. E-file service providers will be able to electronically submit. We know that. And to become a registered representative, you must register your business number. And it talks about legal representatives and signature checkbox and so on. It also notes that the form must be received by the CRA within 6 months of its signature date. If the client signs it and doesn't send it until later, you've got to send it in with 6 months or it will not be processed. And the T1013 must be kept for 6 years following the date that the form was sent. And CRA say that they're going to be monitoring these T1013s and they're going to ask to see copies of completed forms on occasion. And if you fail to provide those forms when CRA asks, that they will remove the authorized representative from the taxpayer's account, of course, and CRA may suspend your electronic filing privileges. Not a good thing. So those are some government releases for your consideration.